It may surprise or even shock you to hear what I'm about to say. But if you're seeing this video right now, it's no accident. For too long, you've carried the weight of those who mocked you, those who wanted to see you stumble and vanish. But the tide has turned, and a fierce new energy is sweeping in. All the curses, all the betrayals they hurled at you with twisted glee, they've ricocheted. Now it's them staggering under the very darkness they prayed over your name. And here you stand, scarred but unbroken, with a steeled heart, ready to roar. If you're ready to claim this unstoppable surge and watch every sneer turn to disbelief, like this video, subscribe, and comment 77 below to signal you're open to the wave of transformation about to break in your favor. Chapter 1. A curse turned back on its maker. In the beginning, you felt their eyes on you, the silent watchers who fed on your struggles with a hidden smile. When they whispered behind closed doors, they spat out hateful intentions. Maybe they craved to see you bankrupt, or humiliated, or locked in perpetual heartbreak. You sensed it in your nightmares and the strange heaviness that dogged your steps. It wasn't paranoia. It was the pulse of their ill will, manifesting like a cloud you couldn't shrug off. Yet each day you rose and faced the world, refusing to let your spirit bow, even as the watchers gloated behind illusions of their moral superiority. But illusions lie by nature, and the watchers forgot that universal law. What you cast out eventually returns. They imagined you as a powerless target, a scapegoat for their own shadows. Blinded by jealousy or petty grudges, they stuffed all that toxicity into curses meant to snuff out your light. And for a while you felt the pressure, dark waves threatening to drown you. You might have cried out, "Why me, God? Why must I tread such unforgiving roads?" Meanwhile, the watchers smirked in the shadows, certain their negativity would stick. But you, dear chosen one, had more resilience than their illusions allowed. Slowly you clawed your way to clarity, forging alliances with your faith, your grit, your unwavering synergy with higher purpose. What they never grasped is that illusions can't hold a candle to cosmic truth. Each prayer, each step of raw perseverance reversed the energy they unleashed. Their curses, lacking any real anchor in your essence, began to order it back. Gravity pulled them home, right to the feet of those who birthed them. Suddenly it's them stumbling under misfortune, financial ruin, broken loyalties, mental anguish so thick they can't breathe. The once mod expressions twist in confusion. Why? The watchers realized too late. They built this storm themselves. Every hateful vow they spat against you now binds them in the exact darkness they demanded for your life. Now they understand the raw cosmic rebound of negativity, the unstoppable synergy that protects the chosen. Yet you stand, battered but victorious, no longer stifled by illusions. For so long you hovered in doubt. Did these curses poison your destiny? But you see the truth. Your destiny was forged of stronger metal. Their illusions only spurred you to deepen your bond with the divine, layering your soul with unstoppable steel. Now each curse has slammed back into them. The watchers hush, standing by the war cry in your eyes that says, "I told you, illusions can't dethrone a chosen one with an unbreakable spirit." So while they reel under self-inflicted chaos, you march onward. With illusions shattered at your feet, you claim the victory they swore you would never see. Let them tremble in their own shadows, grappling with the curses they conjured. You have a higher call to answer, no longer burdened by what once weighed you down. The watchers can watch, illusions can crumble, but your unstoppable synergy surges forward, free to fulfill the promise sealed in your bones. Chapter 2. The season they lived for you. For a time, it felt like they relished your darkest hours. Perhaps they discovered your weaknesses and pounced, inventing gossip to nibble away at your reputation. Or maybe they grinned at every heartbreak, hoping you'd be crushed enough never to rise again. Each time you collapsed, they wanted you to linger in that pit, certain your spirit would eventually shatter. They relished being the watchers of your suffering, a perverse satisfaction fueling their illusions that you were destined to remain beneath them. Behind those illusions, they believed they could siphon your light if you gave up. Like spiritual vampires, they fed off your sadness, turning every rumor of your hardship into communal laughter. A strange camaraderie formed around your pain, binding them in a twisted circle of shared animosity. "She's not as strong as she thinks," they scoffed, "for you would never bounce back from this." They felt empowered each time you stumbled, never imagining that you were forging unstoppable synergy in the crucible of adversity. But illusions are cunning liars, and they told them you'd forever be the scapegoat, never the victor. So they led for you. Their gas obsessions revolved around your name. Their jokes found punchlines in your misfortunes. They told tall tales so often that some watchers started believing the fictions themselves. They prayed their illusions would shape your reality, that each day would dig you deeper into ruin. They enjoyed the show, convinced it was the pinnacle of your story. Now the illusions unravel, and it's they who are thrust onto center stage. They find themselves locked in the very nightmares they imagined for you. Heartbreak, scandal, betrayal from their own circle. The same relentless wave of negativity they aimed at you now roars back to them. Horrified, they realize the cosmic boomerang has no mercy for illusions. Their comfortable zone of smug power crumbles into dust. All the devious laughter they once unleashed is replaced by frantic cries for help that echo into an uncaring void. Meanwhile, you stand resurrected, wearing the scars of your trials like medals of war. Your synergy has grown unstoppable, fueled by the knowledge that illusions can bruise but never obliterate your essence. The watchers, these architects of your downfall, scramble for cover in the very storms they conjured. Each betrayal or lie they wove to trap you now spins around them, and you, ironically, hardly have to lift a finger. Their destruction is self-inflicted, a direct consequence of living for your pain instead of forging their own path. In time, they might plead for your forgiveness, or, worse, pretend none of it happened. Yet illusions can't flourish under your awakened gaze. You see through their regret, understanding it's not rooted in genuine remorse, but in fear of the cosmic backlash. And so, with unstoppable synergy coursing through your soul, you remain at peace, unswayed by illusions of revenge. You have soared beyond the petty realm they inhabited. God's justice stands firm. They now inhabit the season they once gleefully crafted for you. You, dear chosen one, are free to stride ahead, forging your destiny in light untainted by their illusions. Chapter 3. Undeniable recognition of your resilience. As this karmic inversion unfolds, where watchers find themselves imprisoned by their own wishes of ill intent, a hush of astonished awe settles around you. Something shifts in the public eye, in the silent spaces of onlookers who once wavered in doubt. They witness the swirl of cosmic justice, seeing how every sneer and sabotage that the watchers cast at you has backfired. Whispers begin to circulate. "Have you heard how they ended up in the very trap they set, and she came out of this shining while they sank?" People marvel at how your spirit not only survived the illusions, but soared beyond them, forging unstoppable synergy that yields a righteous vindication. For a chosen one, this recognition can feel surreal. You never did all this for applause. It was survival, then conviction, and finally unstoppable synergy propelling you forward. Yet now, as illusions collapse and watchers wilt under the glare of their own toxicity, the crowd sees you in a new light. They can't ignore the glaring truth that you weathered the worst and emerged triumphant. Your resilience demands respect. Even some who once mocked you now question whether they too should awaken from illusions. In many ways, this is how your synergy becomes contagious, an unstoppable force that nudges dormant souls to question the watcher's illusions they passively ingested. People ask themselves, if such negativity was undone so dramatically, perhaps our own illusions deserve a second look. You stand as living evidence that illusions hold no real power against unwavering faith and a heart fused with cosmic intention. The watchers know this. Their grip on others' minds wavers each time someone acknowledges your resilience and wonders what might be possible if they too break illusions. You sense your new role forming. Though you never sought to be an example, your existence now silently coaches others on how illusions can be dismantled by synergy. Folks might approach you to ask, how did you end up? How did you keep faith in the thick of that storm? And while you're not one to pontificate, your story can't help but inspire, because it's not a tale of cunning success or easy luck. It's a story of braving the Watcher's relentless hatred, forging synergy in the crucible of betrayal, and letting cosmic justice handle the outcome. You didn't orchestrate the Watcher's downfall. You simply refused to let them define you. Now your unstoppable synergy blooms into something bigger than personal vindication. It sparks ripples of transformation in hearts that observe and believe. Some Watchers, pinned under the weight of their returning negativity, might see this blossoming empathy around you and sputter in dismay. Their illusions taught them only dominance to fear. But your synergy teaches a higher law, that perseverance, wedded to moral clarity, yields unstoppable triumph. Even in silence, you broadcast that law, and people can't ignore it. So in this period of recognition, you humbly accept the acknowledgement that floods your way. Not because you yearn for applause, but because you understand that revelations of your resilience serve a higher narrative. Each salute to your triumph reaffirms that illusions crack in the face of synergy, and the Watchers, dwarfed by their self-made chaos, fade into irrelevance. Meanwhile, you stride on unstoppable, forging new realities that overshadow the remnants of illusions. In that steady stride, you prove every day that they who stand in synergy stand victorious, no matter how ugly it once was. Chapter 4. Why the backfire was inevitable. All the Watchers' illusions, their curses, their petty sabotage, none of it was ever sustainable. Like a house of cards perched on a windy cliff, their negativity was bound to collapse under the weight of cosmic law. For a moment, you may have felt singled out, harassed by unrelenting negativity. Yet the Watchers never understood that when illusions clash with the unstoppable synergy of a chosen one, the illusions inevitably devour themselves. This backfire was scripted in universal truth long before their hateful whispers even reached your ears. Why so inevitable? Because illusions and negativity do not possess an inherent anchor. They feed on fear and deception, offering nothing of substance to the cosmic flow. Meanwhile, synergy thrives on authenticity and deep alignment with higher purpose. Every negative intention they targeted you with lacked the spiritual grounding to hold firm once you started rejecting their illusions. Like arrows missing their mark, their malice floated aimlessly until cosmic forces returned it to cinder. The Watchers, oblivious to such laws, foolishly believed hateful thoughts would vanish into the ether, not realizing they boomerang with multiplied force. Moreover, the Watchers misunderstood the essence of a chosen one. For them, spiritual power might be just another cliché or naive fantasy, but you, by design, have a deep cosmic resonance that acts as a protective cloak. The illusions might slow you, wound you, test you, but they cannot break the synergy at your core. Once your spirit recognized the Watcher's attempts to chain you, it summoned an unstoppable momentum that burned away illusions and exposed the Watchers to their own venom. Their downfall was sealed the moment they targeted a soul carrying unstoppable synergy within. And so, it came to pass. The Watchers' curses turned on them, and all they imagined you would suffer became their daily torment. It's not that you relish revenge or orchestrated these events. The synergy in you is not cruel. It's simply the balancing agent in a universe when negativity returns to its origin. The Watchers discovered too late that illusions don't protect from the blowback of malignant intent. By the time they realized the cosmic ledger was tilting back, they were already ensnared in the very nightmares they fashioned for you. There's a stark lesson here. Illusions may seem potent, but remain ephemeral. They hold no ground against synergy, particularly synergy within a soul awakened to its divine inheritance. The Watchers toy with a power they failed to understand. Now the illusions crumble, and they stand stripped of their illusions, forced to bear what they inflicted. Meanwhile, your unstoppable synergy hums with victory, not loathing, but testifying to cosmic justice. Each day you press forward, forging a path where illusions cannot flourish. Watchers are no longer a threat but a cautionary tale. Thus, the backfire feels less like chance and more like the unfolding of an ancient decree. Negativity collapses upon itself. Synergy rises unscathed. The Watchers reap the harvest of seeds they sowed in your field. they can now reflect on the tangle of illusions that led them astray. Or they can remain in denial. It matters little to your unstoppable progression. Each step you take is free from illusions that once shackled you, forging a future triumphant in its authenticity, unstoppable in its synergy. Chapter 5. The Burden of Their Consequences. Though your victory rings clear, a strange heaviness can arise when you see the watchers drowning in the darkness they themselves brood. You might feel a pang of pity, recalling how illusions once clouded your own perspective. But the watchers chose deeper malice, forging deceptions not merely to fool themselves, but to throw you. Now the cosmic wheel has turned, and they must bear consequences they never prepared for. Their finances may unravel, or their reputations crumble as revelations surface. Friendships they relied on decay into betrayal, just as they once wished. Yours would. Some watchers lash out, blaming everyone but themselves. Others sink into despair, haunted by the realization that their entire strategy to break you was powered by warped delusions. One way or another, they shoulder this burden alone, with no synergy or redemption unless they embrace genuine contrition. Meanwhile, as a chosen one, you know how burden can forge integrity and unwavering faith. The watcher's burden lacks such synergy. It's all weight, no hope. Trapped in cycles of self-pity, they may curse you for misfortunes they conjured against you. The irony is stuck. They blame you for outcomes they unleashed on themselves. You might wonder, should I try to help them? Compassion could stir, but illusions cannot be dismantled on someone else's behalf. The watchers must face their own motivations and release the hatred anchoring them. If they approach you sincerely, illusions truly cast aside, you can offer empathy. Yet synergy warns you not to re-enter manipulative patterns. Your path has soared beyond that realm. Stepping backward could sabotage your unstoppable momentum. You remain open-hearted but discerning, letting them confront the results of their illusions. Some watchers may stubbornly descend deeper, faulting you or the universe instead of acknowledging their role. Others, with rare humility, might find true transformation. Either way, the choice is theirs. Your unstoppable synergy stands untouched, lifted by authenticity and the bond you share with the divine. Passing them on the karmic highway, you recognize each must walk the path they shaped. In the end, their downfall becomes a sobering lesson in cosmic law, not your personal triumph. Freed from their illusions, you move forward unencumbered by the watcher's false narratives. Let them wrestle with the chaos of their own making. Your synergy is your safeguard, a testament that illusions shrivel under the unyielding truth of cosmic justice. Chapter 6. Your Emerging Stature in a New Reality. With watchers subdued and illusions cowering at the edges of your story, you emerge into a new reality shaped by your awakened synergy. There's a sense of raw spaciousness around you, a hush that used to be filled with petty sabotage or malicious rumors. Now possibility crackles in the air, waiting for your hand to mold it. This is the realm where your spiritual stature comes into focus. No longer overshadowed by watchers' chatter, you stand recognized, not by hollow praise, but by the resonance of unstoppable synergy emanating from you. Others who sense this synergy approach, not to drain you as watchers did, but to co-create. You find alliances forming with people who share your vision for a life untainted by illusions. They gravitate to your calm authority, drawn to a presence that overcame adversity without bitterness. Collaboration arises naturally. Projects that once felt too grand now thrive under the synergy of multiple awakened spirits. Here, the watcher's illusions hold no currency, for this new domain resonates at a higher frequency where negativity fails to take root. Simultaneously, you notice your sense of purpose magnifies. Freed from illusions, you understand that your journey wasn't merely about personal vindication. It's about wielding synergy for the uplift of those who still wander in illusions. Even if watchers remain entrenched in negativity, countless others linger at the threshold of awakening, uncertain how to cast off illusions that hamper their brilliance. Your newly consolidated synergy radiates a silent invitation. It can be done, and here's living proof. Some watchers, witnessing your undeniable transformation, might attempt to rebuild bridges or rebrand themselves as supporters. Yet synergy grants you clarity on who has genuinely repented and who merely seeks to latch on to your success. You remain gracious but resolute, welcoming genuine redemption while deflecting manipulative overtures. No illusions can remain hidden under synergy's unyielding gaze. If watchers come bearing illusions, they recoil from the light shining dimly. Thus, your new reality forms a sanctuary for truth. Unpolluted by illusions or half-lives, the watchers can mutter or attempt mere sabotage, but the unstoppable synergy enveloping you dwarfs their reach. You ascend beyond their routine negativity. Surrounded by this synergy, your spirit breathes easier. Your creativity flourishes. Your sense of direction glows like a compass drawn by divine magnetism. Each morning, you awaken to fresh opportunities tailored to your synergy's signature. Doors creak open, resources appear. Chance encounters spark breakthroughs. Illusions can't survive in such an environment of conscious co-creation. At last, you feel the fullness of your identity as a chosen one, someone meant to break illusions, not only for yourself, but as a beacon for others. In this new reality, watchers who once overshadowed your steps become irrelevant footnotes. The illusions that annulled you in doubt are but pages in a concluded chapter. Now you stand, forging a fresh story arc that only unstoppable synergy can pen. You don't gloat over the watcher's downfall. You simply glean the lessons. Through them, you witnessed delusion's desperate attempts. Through your synergy, you shattered them. And in that forging, you discovered your stature in a reality that welcomes your unstoppable power with open arms. Chapter 7. Beyond the final echoes of their dark wishes. Now comes the hush after every storm. The moment you realize illusions have no new angles left to strike. The watchers, once jubilant over your supposed downfall, are silenced by the harsh reality that they themselves reeled into. Their curses spin in a vacuum, powerless to harm you any longer, for synergy has already carried you past their reach. You can almost taste the final echoes of their dark wishes fading to nothing. It's an outpour of peace, layered with the triumph you never thought would taste so sweet. There's no cosmic necessity urging you to dwell on their plight. You're beyond now. They might remain stuck in spirals of regret or denial, but you sense synergy is nudging, directing you ever forward. Ahead lies a realm shackled by illusions, a wide-open horizon for your unstoppable expansion. Part of you might reflect on the watchers and wonder if they'll ever find redemption. Another part of you acknowledges that their path is theirs to choose, just as you chose synergy over illusions. You no longer carry their burdens or sabotage. You are liberated from that narrative. At last, you stand fully in your rightful dominion, unstoppable synergy singing through your veins. What began as exhaustion and heartbreak evolved into an unstoppable transformation. The watchers inadvertently fueled your growth and illusions, and their final thrash served as the stepping stones leading you here. There's no conflict left to fight. The illusions have lost their bite. The watchers, their vantage. You exhale, feeling the weight that once pressed upon your spirit entirely dissolved. Yet synergy murmurs that your journey is not an ending, but a new beginning. With illusions vanquished, your creative potential leaps into uncharted territory. Projects you once hesitated to launch now seem obvious. Partners you never dared to form now ring with possibility. The watchers might still skulk from the edges, but they no longer define your environment. Their curses lie broken in the dust, overshadowed by the luminous path synergy etches before you. Daylight breaks across your future, brimming with an unstoppable impetus you can almost hold in your hands. The illusions are done. The watchers have reaped their own harvest, and you are free to soar, to carve a life that resonates with the unstoppable synergy that you've embraced. Let them speak if they must. Your stride will drown out their murmurs. Let illusions attempt revival elsewhere. They cannot attach to a heart fully awakened, a mind fully lucid, and a path fully blessed by unstoppable synergy. And so you venture forth, forging destiny from every cosmic spark that once hovered beyond your grasp. This is your moment, dear chosen one, to command the stage they tried to deny you, to breathe life into visions they dismissed as dreams, to let synergy weave a tapestry of triumph wherever you tread. Their dark wishes fizzle, illusions undone, powerless. You move on, unstoppable, forging each dawn with a power so vast no illusions can obscure it.